I'm back, and I got some real deals. Because the game is actually, to me, a little bit scarier because you actually in it. To me, the game seems scarier. I ain't gonna lie. The game seems scarier to me, but let's get into this one.
It's a great way to meet him.
After successfully making love to one half of a pair of gorgeous twins, Jimmy goes downstairs to celebrate with a glass of wine, but is unable to find a corkscrew. Luckily, Jason happens to have one, and promptly gives Jimmy a hand, and a meat cleaver to the face.
Hey, Ted, where the hell's corkscrew?
One of the bloodier kills in the film, Jimmy's death is all the more shocking as his sympathetic characterization suggested he may have been the hero of the final chapter.
Jimbo.
Number 9. Garbage Can Drowning, Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Walking corpses are not real.
Authority figures don't usually fare well in the Friday the 13th franchise, and biology teacher Charles McCulloch is no exception.
I'm in charge here. School is out.
He's more than a little uptight, and using fairly cruel methods to cure his niece Rennie of her aquaphobia. So it's all the more fitting that Mr. McCullough ends up in his own watery grave, courtesy of Jason Voorhees. Taking McCulloch by the ankles and plunging him headfirst into a sludge-filled garbage can, Jason performs one of his most gruesome and arguably comedic kills. This is also one of a handful of kills where Jason inadvertently deals out his own lethal brand of justice to a more villainous victim.
Better swim, Rennie. Before Jason pulls you down.
Number 8. Sauna Rock, Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Nice fight, Julius. Guess I need to work on my left-right-left combo.
You can never let your guard down when Jason's around. After losing a fight to Julius, a boxer who would also have a memorable encounter with Jason in this film, this unnamed victim tries to blow off some steam in the sauna. With the towel over his face obscuring his vision, the boxer assumes it's Julius who enters to join him. He then finds out otherwise when Jason plunges a sauna rock through his chest cavity.
Julius?
This execution was yet another example of the more tongue-in-cheek kills, which had become more and more commonplace in the Friday the 13th franchise.
He's undefeated. You know that?
Number 7. Head Spin, Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives.
You guys, try not to wake the kids.
As the Friday the 13th franchise continued through numerous sequels, there was a noticeable shift in Jason's kills, as they increasingly became the stuff of black comedy instead of dead serious horror.
Alright, who's out there?
However, his killing of Sissy in Part 6 served as a reminder of how truly vicious Jason can be. After assuring a frightened girl that there's nothing to fear outside of her cabin, Sissy finds out there is indeed plenty to be afraid of when Jason comes a-knockin'. After yanking her out of a window, Jason twists her head around 180 degrees before tearing it off completely. Mr. Voorhees seems to have perfected this move, as he's done it before to a cheeky corner. Number 6. I Pop, Friday the 13th, Part 3.
Look at
This
this.
third
Look.
installment in the Friday the 13th franchise sought to take advantage of 3D technology, and featured several kills that exploited it to the fullest.
Everything alright?
This scene, in which the character Rick meets his maker, exemplifies this element. After his car dies and he begins to search the grounds, Rick is caught by Jason and has his head crushed in the serial killer's vice-like grip. Even more grotesque is the fact that Jason squeezes Rick's head with such tremendous force that it causes his left eye to pop out of its socket. An effect which is considerably enhanced by Part 3's use of 3D. Number 5. Decapitating Uppercut, Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Operator, this is an emergency. Give me the police.
After arriving in the Big Apple, Jason squares off against amateur boxer Julius in a battle of fisticuffs on a rooftop.
Look.
In a lengthy sequence that showcases Julius's boxing prowess, Jason absorbs blow after blow to seemingly no effect. After bloodying his own fists and exhausting himself without even managing to knock Jason off his feet, Julius gives a sportsmanlike invitation to Jason to deliver his best shot.
Take your best shot.
Unfortunately for Julius, Jason packs plenty of punch in his own right as he delivers an uppercut,
Dang.
which knocks Julius's head clean off his shoulders and into a neighboring dumpster. Number 4, Bedfold. Freddy vs. Jason.
Fine, I'll go shower then.
Good. The air smells like menthols anyway.
Jason is a master when it comes to using his surroundings to his advantage for his bloody work. When he comes upon the fairly unlikable Trey in bed having a beer, Jason decides to make the most of the scenario. After repeatedly stabbing Trey with his machete and piercing the bed's mattress, Jason displays his supernatural strength by folding the bed and Trey's spine with terrifying ease. This kill is the first of many in Freddy vs. Jason, and serves as an example of Jason's more brutal approach to killing, as opposed to Freddy Krueger's more psychological and sinister methods. It's this contrast that helped set the stage for this clash of horror movie titans. Number 3, Sleeping Bag. Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood.
It's gonna be a cold night tonight.
One of veteran Jason actor Kane Hodder's personal favorites, this kill from the 7th installment in the Friday the 13th franchise takes full advantage of the camping theme prevalent in the series.
Okay, you big hunk of a man, come and get me!
The New Blood displays Jason's versatility as he uses a variety of weapons to slay his victims.
Dan, what are you doing?
But perhaps none is quite as unique as his method of murdering a camper who tries to hide from him in her sleeping bag. Undeterred, Jason simply picks her and the bag up and slams both into a tree to get the job done. Originally, the scene called for Jason to slam the sleeping bag into the tree several times, but the sequence was shortened so the film could avoid an X rating. Number 2, Machete to the Face. Friday the 13th, Part 2. Although you'd think most killers would show some mercy to the disabled, Jason most certainly does not. Mark is a wheelchair-bound former athlete who hasn't let his disability get to him. But unfortunately, his impressive upper body strength isn't enough to save him when Jason picks up where his mother left off in the original Friday the 13th. Mark ends up on the receiving end of a machete to the face in one of Part 2's most horrifying moments. For the finishing touch, Jason even goes the extra mile with this kill by sending Mark careening down a staircase while still seated in his wheelchair. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Number 1, Liquid Nitrogen, Jason 10. Jason's first foray into outer space spawned some of his most memorable and creative kills, chief among them being his murder of scientist Adrian. After waking up from a cryogenic slumber in a fairly unpleasant mood, Jason attacks Adrian and plunges her head first into a vat of liquid nitrogen, which freezes her entire head in a matter of seconds. Despite the icy dip having clearly killed her when he pulls her back out, Jason adds insult to injury by slamming Adrian's frozen face into the countertop and shattering it. Balancing gory shock value with a touch of dark humor, this kill arguably encapsulates the essence of Jason Voorhees' modus operandi. You agree with our list? What's your favorite Jason Voorhees kill? For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Wait, now that's not funny. I told you that was sick. Well, anyway, back at you with some other stuff that's gonna have you guys pumped, man. In the house again. Bam!